Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 26 of the Tait Talks podcast. Today we have a returning guest. That is Todd Eldridge. How you doing, champ?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Pretty good. Nice to see you again. See you most days now because we live together.
Yep.
Last episode, if you were tuning into this one for the first time, in the last episode I spoke to Todd about his first international trip, which was to Europe. You pretty much centered your whole trip around Tomorrowland in Belgium, but unfortunately you didn't get to go.
No, it was an absolute shit show, wasn't it?
It was pretty fucked.
But we got there. 12 months later.
So you did that. It was the trip in 2015.
Correct.
You went to Running with the Bulls, which you also did not attend because you were terrified, as you told me off camera. Scared, you didn't want to do it, you didn't want to die. And then you decided to do it the next year along with Tomorrowland. You went with two mates the first time. This time in 2016, you went with a few more people and lost one, was that right?
Yeah, we lost one from the year before, gained two more.
Yeah.
So there's four of us this second year. Is the great D-Boy, T-Case, and Doc, three very good men.
Yep.
Very good mates. 12 months of hustling for me and Toby to get back to that position, really. Geez, I couldn't tell you how many sad days I worked in that 12 months to get it going.
So you went back to Adelaide.
Yeah, yep.
And then you were just... So you decided that's it. Next year we're going to Tomorrowland. We're doing it. Was the plan to do... Running with the Bulls as well, or you just decided that fuck it, I'm there, I'm going to do it?
No, the two other lads that we went, they wanted to do it, and I had to go back and do it, so It just made sense that we added that into the trip. They weren't too concerned on doing Yacht Week, but we'd already done it, so that was sweet.
Yep.
This trip was a little bit longer.
Okay.
So we just sort of threw in what we wanted to do, and we made a trip out of it.
So the first trip was about 8 weeks in 2015?
No, I think it was... They were both about 6 from memory.
Okay.
But the second one had that much more shit jam-packed into it.
It's pretty handy that most of those things are around the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yacht Week,
absolutely.
Tomorrowland, and Running with the Bulls that you could knock off in one trip.
You cannot beat a European summer.
Yeah,
you really can't.
Pretty handy. So, you went to Europe again. Where did you start this time? So you left Adelaide, I assume?
Yeah, this time we flew into London.
Yep.
It was the day before one of the boys that came's birthday. So
okay,
we landed and pretty well, as you do, drop your shit at the hostel, straight into it. Actually turned out to be the Champions League final, whatever it's called,
Champions League final.
Champions
Pretty
League,
sure, yeah.
France and Portugal. So we managed to get tickets to this. It was called the Dome.
Okay.
And just people going nuts, watching the soccer. Like, I mean, we didn't follow it, but I think we had to go. There was a gate splitting the supporters. So when we got there, like, France or Portugal, we're like, I think we chose France.
Yeah.
Which ended up getting done.
Okay. Yeah.
But the after party for that was just like absolutely insane. Like, I think we ended up sleeping for 18 hours.
What?
After that.
I suppose, you just got off your plane.
With the jet lag and the big night. And at the Generator Hostel, which, you know, we were talking about that before, you can't swing a cat in one of those rooms. They're that fucking tiny. 2 bunk beds and a floor space of maybe a metre by a metre. So we had to take turns in getting off the bunks to get changed.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked, that joint.
So you can imagine what that was like if someone pulled.
You're like, yeah, we're in a fivesome.
Pretty well right there,
yeah.
Yeah. And then had a good mate from Mount Gambier offer to take us sightseeing actually the second day, which is quite funny because he's rocked up to the hostel to get us, and we're all rough as Hessian underpants, like, you know, jet lag, big night. So he takes us out. Oh boy, you know, showing us Big Ben and the London Bridge and. We're just so disinterested. Like, is there anything else you want to do, lads? Like,
sleep.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll just go back to the hostel, I think, mate. Like, thanks for your time, but
he would have gone away from that like those rude pricks.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for however long it was. And, but yeah, like we used to say, we were there for 4 nights, but didn't really do a hell of a lot of sightseeing in London.
You didn't go there for London though, did you? That was just a pure the cheapest point to get to.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably was. Yep. And then from London, we went to Pamplona.
Yep. So running with the Bulls again.
Yeah, running with the Bulls.
And so going back to the last episode, one of your fine gentlemen mates decided to fart in the taxi when he first got there and got berated in Spanish for a long time. Did that happen again?
No farting in taxis this time. No.
Okay.
No. Where did we stay? We stayed in San Sebastian this year.
Okay.
Actually, so probably a half-hour bus at 6 a.m. into the Bull Run Festival.
Yep.
And managed to do it this year. I couldn't. There was no way I could go back to Australia having not done it twice. But
yeah,
like we touched on the last episode, just when you get in there, you meet at the town hall at 7. They let you in at 7:45. Gates shut. No way out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Pure fear, evil.
And you're just next to each other like sardines.
I was standing with about 8 people that I knew, and when that cannon went off, within 3 seconds, I couldn't see anybody that I knew.
Oh, really?
It was just every man for himself. Yeah, it was just every man for himself. But I was so happy with myself after I did it. Like, it was just, and a lot of people that knew me that I'd met on that previous trip, or people I knew had obviously followed my life on socials for the next 12 months. And so a lot of nice messages, good on you, mate. You've gone back, you've done it. Like, congrats.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying in the other episode, that I don't think I would do it again. Like, I don't think I would see it and then go, I'm going to do this next year. I'd be like, well, you guys are fucking dumb, and there is no good outcome of this besides not dying. When the outcome is I didn't get gored or die, like, it's not really a great outcome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, hats off to my mate Toby. He actually did it again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did
twice. The mad dog.
Yeah, so he's done it twice. Yeah. He,
yeah.
Didn't run the Port Adelaide Prison Bar jersey this time, but
Okay.
he did it again. So
Eddie McGuire told him off, did he? Topical joke here on the Tait Talks podcast. Well, that's pretty cool that you guys did it. So I assume you would have been pretty much Bull Run. Did you get to do the ceremony this time?
We did the closing one this year instead,
okay.
not the opening.
I never did that one. What's that like? Just as big?
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well, yeah. Just as big, I'd say.
Did you go over with white clothes, ready to rock, or
No, we bought them there.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah, we bought them there.
Yeah, so we went over with like some white clothes and stuff like that. I didn't do any research when I did it. I just kind of tagged on someone else's trip, but they were like, buy white clothes, and I was like, okay. Just didn't ask any questions, and then you're like, lucky, because you would stand out like a fucking sore thumb if you didn't.
Yeah, and they charge a fortune for them over there too.
Yeah, it's the same as like Lederhausen and stuff like that when you're in.
True. Yeah.
I wore, I should put up a picture of what I wore at Oktoberfest one day, and I look like a fat fucking Peter Pan. Like, I look horrible. I got it from like some Amazon shit, and I look
cheap and nasty, mate.
Oh, it was like $20. It was horrible. All right, so you did the closing ceremony. You're not dead. You've done London. Now you've done running with the Bulls. You're running hard.
Yeah, so we've took off out of Pamplona straight into Ibiza.
Okay.
you
Party.
haven't been to Ibiza, have you?
No.
It's just another world, mate. It's just 3 days, 3 days of mayhem. I don't think we went to bed. Completely lost track of the days.
Casino.
Just night clubbing, day clubbing. Spent about $2,000 in 3 days. Insane Ushuaia Beach Club. If you haven't been there, definitely put that on your bucket list. It's just mental.
Yeah.
Be prepared to pay €26 for a vodka lemonade though. But we lost track of the days, and whatever day it was, I'm laying in the bathtub, and the cleaner comes in and she's like, "You got to leave." I said, "No, we got another day." No. She's like, no, it's Tuesday. We're like, oh, shit. We thought it was Monday.
Yeah.
So I sort of get up, and one of the boys is in the room. The other two are nowhere to be found. This is at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
We find one of them, and then we say to another one, we couldn't get a hold of him. We're like, mate, we've stuffed up our flights now, like in and out, a couple of hours. If you read this message, we've got your passport, we've got all your shit, meet us at the airport. Luckily enough, he got that message. He got that message, and I'll still never forget him showing up to the airport that morning, like fourth day of a bender. He rocks up to the airport, like, you know, still like raving from the night before.
Yeah.
But we made it. We made it onto the plane, thankfully, and then straight into Paris.
Yep.
Where the first night there, we booked ourselves a real flash Airbnb because we knew we'd be pretty dusty from Ibiza.
Smart. That's smart.
Very smart, yeah. And obviously, you know, it was like lack of sleep. You know, a few big nights.
A few, yeah.
We
couple of cordials,
yeah. We were laying there in this Airbnb, and one of the boys, he was doing some weird shit through the nights, like wandering around and, you know, jumping out of bed. And
yeah,
I was out in the fold out with another mate, and then two of them were in the room, and one's just jumped out of the bed middle of the night, like straight into the wall. And within 5 seconds, I've obviously like been, I don't know, like just sleep deprived, hearing things. I've got up thinking someone's in the apartment. I've ran straight through the coffee table, knocked table and chairs everywhere. This is all happening in the space of about 5 seconds. The other two boys get up, flick the light on, like, the fuck's going on in here? You know, you got one bloke, he's in the corner of the room all like delusional what's going on. I've just knocked the fucking coffee table and dining table for 6, and I'm scattered out across the kitchen, and
like,
it's just like, boys, we got to get it together. Like we still got Tomorrowland to go yet.
Jeez.
So it was.
So where are you're in Paris?
This is in Paris, yeah. First night in Paris. So we're trying to get 2 quiet nights in Paris before we go to Tomorrowland.
So what do you do? So a quiet night is going to see the Eiffel Tower and having a baguette. Is that a quiet?
Pretty well, yeah.
I never made it to Paris.
No?
I just really didn't interest me. Plus, there was all like terrorist attacks and stuff going on.
Well, that actually, so that was the year of when that bloke drove that van through a crowd of people.
Yeah.
We were in Paris when that happened. It seemed to be following us around. There was a couple other incidents there.
Yeah, like Belgium and...
Yeah, sorry. The same year the Brussels airport was blown up.
Yeah, I was there then. That was sick. That was a good day.
Yeah, and there was something else that happened that year too. But
is there a London one?
There could well have been.
There's always something.
But yeah, it would seem to be following us around, so, you know, people back home are starting to freak out. And
yeah, that's one of the worst things when, like, you're kind of like, you're in your own little bubble and you're just with your boys, you know, laughing and talking about the things that you've been up to on your trip, and then all of a sudden mum's texting you or whatever, and it's like, are you okay? And you're like, what? Yeah, I'm just drunk. Like, it's like, oh, there was a terrorist attack, and you're like, really?
Well, you're completely unaware of it because
you're just doing your own thing, which is crazy.
Yeah, not running on Wi-Fi. You're not actually checking your phone much, so you don't really know what's going on in the world. But
it's nice.
Yeah, it's good. I love it at times.
Yeah.
So we're in Paris.
So you're
we're
in Paris. A couple of quiet nights.
Yeah, and then on to Tomorrowland. So we made it. We actually got a train to Marseille, and when we got the tickets, we got them off the official website this year.
We should. I don't know if you were just going to go into that. Sorry, but how did you go getting the tickets? So for people who haven't listened to the last episode, you got some fake tickets, or something went wrong, and you guys got fucked over. You were standing outside the gates of Oktoberfest, stranded.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah. What did I say?
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, same thing. So you were stranded. You literally were able to sniff Tomorrowland, but you couldn't get in because you didn't have your wristwatches.
Yep, correct.
Which is some special fandangle European way that they decide to put money on it, don't they? And you can buzz all your shit through, which is pretty cool. So you were close to it. You tried to bribe them. You tried to get in.
Tried everything.
Unfortunately, you tried to jump the fence and shit, didn't you?
We looked at doing it, but dogs everywhere.
Yeah. You didn't do it. For the people who don't know about fucking Tomorrowland, can you tell us the stats? How many people go there?
200,000, close to.
Close to, and it goes for how long?
4 days.
So that is a lot of people in 4 days.
It's a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, from all over the world too. Like, you wouldn't believe some of the countries that you just don't think you'll ever meet anybody from that were there. Like,
yeah.
But it was very nervous that second year because it was just like exactly the same situation, picking the tickets up from the festival because we had left before they send them out to your home address. You can elect to have them sent to you.
So, but it was an official ticket this time.
Off the official website. Yep.
Any dramas?
None whatsoever. It was walk up.
Okay.
Name.
But getting the tickets, are they very sought after to get the tickets online?
Oh, you got to be on it. It was like 2 a.m.
And you had to stay
one
up
morning.
And huddle around a computer.
Yeah, 4 of us on a computer.
You have a computer each, or just?
Yeah, yep.
And you were just all trying to get on.
Just who could the packages are selling out that quick. It's just there's all different flight packages, train packages.
What package did you go?
We ended up getting VIP. They were.
So you made up for the year before and went full VIP, did you?
Yeah, we always had to sell our liver to get these.
And you needed those.
yeah. To get these tickets, they're probably 1,800 each from memory, I think.
Yeah.
But it included a party flight from Marseille. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Is that is that the 4 days, 4 nights?
Yeah.
So every ticket.
The camping in Dreamville, tents set up when you get there.
Yeah. So worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, worth it, mate, for sure. And if you're into that sort of stuff, definitely. Party flight from Marseille, so that's pretty unique. You know, we get to the boarding gate, and there's a fucking DJ playing in the boarding gate, and they're giving out free vodka sunrises. Like, where else?
Yeah.
Can you sit in a boarding gate? So we're just knocking these back. You know, they're going down like a fat kid on a seesaw, mate. Like, we're ready to get on a plane, and we're just smashing these vodka sunrises and get on the plane. And then there's music cranking on the plane too for this hour and a half flight. Like, everyone's going nuts. Like, you imagine the adrenaline on a plane where you got music blaring, and we get there and we get in. We get straight in.
So no dramas.
No dramas. Like, piece of piss
Were
this year.
you in the inside? So your two mates that came with you didn't have the troubles the year before, so they would have been cool as a cucumber. But you and your other mate would have been like, was it Toby?
It was Toby. Yeah. We had a big hug when we got in, and we put something on Facebook and received a lot of love from everybody because they know.
You told me something off after the podcast last time. Can you tell me about the lady that you met? Was it in Mount Gambier that was telling you about the story of the three boys from Adelaide?
That was a girl working at General Pants. Yeah, she had somehow heard there the year before and told me in General Pants in Adelaide that, oh, did you hear about those 3 Adelaide boys that had fake tickets? And I'm like, yeah, that was me.
That is
Thanks for bringing it up.
So brutal.
Yeah. But no, we got there in the end and got in, mate. Like, we're on a massive high. We get in and we actually camped next to these 2 brothers from Egypt.
Oh, really?
Like, you never think you met anyone from Egypt, and then you got a bunch of Norwegian dudes that were playing beer pong with.
Yeah.
This Swedish legend, Mans. We taught him how to muzz because that was back when muzzing was quite big, and just people generally want to have a good time. And
yeah, surely if you're going there, you love that shit. Yeah.
You're getting up in the morning and you're drinking beers out because they don't sell ice at the campsite, obviously, to make you buy your drinks. So you're just drinking hot beers that you've bought there, and you're going to the festival all day at the festival. Then you're coming back. One of the 150,000 people is throwing a party. There's about 15 different parties going on. So just bounce around all these parties. Sun's coming up. Back day 2. Like,
what's the So obviously it costs quite a bit to get in there. So I would assume that the clientele and stuff like that's, I wouldn't like you shit in your tent or whatever where you were keeping it. You were pretty confident that no one was going to go in there and nick your stuff.
Oh, I think you had to be, really.
Yeah.
You get to know anybody within stone's throw of you.
Yeah.
So you sort of just trust the people that are
around
you, I guess. You're not going to get... Well, you wouldn't think someone's just going to come... what are they going to take? My passport? Like,
Your luck? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But, that's good. Like, when you stay at a hostel or something like that and some numbskull's like, yeah, I left my camera out and it got stolen. And you're like, Yeah, welcome to the real world, dummy.
Yeah, well, actually, I think that trip, it was in Amsterdam. Someone stole my fucking Calvin Klein undies.
Really?
Yeah, that was all they took.
Yeah. Just saw him, was like, that's nice.
Yeah.
I want this little boy's pants.
None of the shirts or anything, just wanted my
Probably
underpants.
didn't fit, mate.
Just wanted my underpants.
Yeah, that's that's nice. Yes, someone wanted your underpants. So you're having the best time of your life. It's fucking. Is it all? It's cracked up to be. Is it better than you thought?
Oh, it definitely lived up to standards.
Definitely
expectations. I don't think I would.
Okay.
Things like that, I think you should just do once.
Yeah, because I reckon it would take away the mystique and you had such a great time the first time. It's like, am I going to have as good of a time the next time?
You could compare it, yeah, and I think if you weren't as satisfied as the first time, it could take away.
Yeah.
So I was quite content with doing it once.
Interesting to go like 5 or 10 years later, though, and see how much it's changed. Just, just from a different, is it not a watch anymore? Is it some fucking ankle bracelet? What's going on? Is it a microchip in your fucking neck? Like, what have they changed? So you've gone through Tomorrowland, 4 days of just non-stop party.
Yeah, and by this stage,
you must. How many weeks are we in now?
Oh Jesus, we'd be getting close to a month.
So a month of pretty much just benders.
Yeah. We remember 25 back then. We were going pretty hard. This trip was a big trip, man.
I assume you'd think, I'm not going to get back here again. I had to scrimp and save to get to this one. It was such a mission, and you've gone 2 years in a row, which is pretty incredible in itself. So, and you're living out of home and stuff like that. So, to save up enough money to just essentially blow on a trip.
Yeah, I think this trip was about 20k we went through.
Yeah.
But
it's worth it, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is as long as you're having fun, you look back in 50 years. That's probably from now, and that's what life's all about, isn't it? Like making memories and.
Well, I mean, we met in Canada. If I didn't go over to Canada, I would not know you, type thing. It's if you don't go overseas and do things. I mean, you can go down essentially to a fucking shop and meet someone, but I just think that the stuff you do overseas always because you do it as an adult and then you meet like-minded individuals and you're keen to I like you, I'm going to hang out with you more. I think we've spoken about just us chatting that some of the friends you probably have through your life now that you may not be friends with, you met when you were kids and stuff like that, and you're we're friends because we have to be, but when you're an adult and you make a new friend, they're usually closer because you're I like this motherfucker.
Yeah,
you got
100%.
more shit in. So when you do shit when overseas and you do it with new friends, or even if it was with your old friends, it seems to just stay in you for a long time.
Yeah, I suppose you have those memories that.
And it's cool to share a memory with someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you sit down and have a few frothies and.
Yeah, and you can be remember the time you farted in that taxi? And everyone just cracks up. It's.
Oh
you just don't get that type of stuff.
No,
I reckon.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So we've finished. So we finished Tomorrowland.
So 4 weeks in.
Yeah, we're fucked, man. I was, just I remember thinking I only got to go to bed for a week.
Yeah, and you've still got a few more weeks.
Yeah, we still got a good fucking 2 weeks to go.
Yeah.
We go to Amsterdam after this, and
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I think we had a quiet one the first night, maybe.
Yeah.
And then the second night, we go out and we
get on it.
Go down the red light district and.
Yeah, as you got to do. I haven't been myself, but never made it to Amsterdam.
Oh yeah, you never been?
No, it was just one of those ones where it was I'd rather go to Lithuania or something like that. Just something weird. I just assume I'll go back to Europe at some point, and then I'll just go to fucking Amsterdam. It'll be an easier trip. But when I was over there and stuff, I was I think I'll just go to these weird little countries, which were absolutely awesome. But sorry, you're at the red light district. You're obviously smashing prozzies like there's no tomorrow.
No, I wouldn't say that, but we definitely we had a bit of a look and went to a couple of sex shows.
Explain a sex show.
They are very, very strange. So you pay, I don't know what it was, $10.
Yep.
You go in like a little amphitheatre. It's like going to the cinema. You sit down with your popcorn and your fucking
Oh, really?
vodka lemonade, and out comes a married couple.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And they just start doggy
Wow.
styling and 69, and on this 360 degree stage, it just spins around, and you just sit there like you're watching a movie. Like,
Yeah.
and then they call out people from the crowd to come and do various acts, and
What do you mean, axe?
eating strawberries and cream from
From where, Todd?
from where the sun doesn't shine.
Did you have any?
No, I didn't get called up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One of my mates did. He had to go up there and scoff a banana out of her clacker.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so that was definitely something interesting.
Wait,
You know?
did you say eat a banana out of her ass?
Yeah, out of her
Wow.
clacker.
Nice. You got to pay for that.
Yeah, €20 I think it cost.
Well, I just hope that that mate is listening to this podcast and just like, yep, I did that.
Yep, he knows who he is.
Yeah.
So we then, what do we do after that? So we had a bit of where they, we went to one of the cafes and
Space cakes.
yeah, the old space cake.
Yep.
So we better have a go at that. We're in Amsterdam, why not? Have this space cake.
It's legal.
It's legal. Yep, that's completely right. It's legal. All's good for like hours. Like, it mustn't have worked.
Yeah.
No good. Whatever. We go back to our dorm, the four of us, and it just hit us all at the exact same time. Like completely. It was the funniest fucking hour, man. Like I'm like you're sitting there like, man, turn the light off, and no one could move. Like I kept having to lift my neck off the bed because I thought I was going to get fucking stuck, and I actually thought I was going to die. It was.
Sounds so fun.
It wasn't at the time.
Yeah.
No, it was not. It just.
It's the shit that you look back on now, though, and you're like, "Fuck, that was funny." But
Yeah.
at the time, you're like, my skeleton's left."
Yeah, I couldn't. I just couldn't move.
Yeah.
Just yeah. Stuck.
How long did it last for?
Oh, felt like a lifetime. Probably only a couple of hours.
Yeah.
We just went to bed, but I think it's because you've just sort of sat down to relax and.
It just came out.
Yeah, and I thought one of the boys was talking to me, and just it was just the funniest, and you're just giggling the whole time, right? Because it was hilarious, man. And then from there we went to Prague, I believe.
Yep.
And then that's where it all hit us. You've just had Ibiza, Tomorrowland, Amsterdam. I think when we sort of stopped for a few days is when it hit us. So we've booked into this party hostel called the Madhouse in Prague, and we've been labelled the three softest fucking cunts there because we've checked in there, haven't had a beer, haven't left our room. But look at these four losers, like trying to explain what we've done, but no one gives a shit. You know. So Prague was sort of, we didn't do much. We maybe went and had a look at the chart. What is it? One of those, what's that bridge there called? The chart.
Yeah. I can't remember the fucking stupid name of it. Yeah, all that stuff is quite nice. That city is so beautiful, though. 80-cent beers. Yeah. A girl told me from there. I later went on to squish a rat. The story I told you that I'm going to say on this podcast one day. That's not a euphemism either. That there used to be some sort of law that beer had to be cheaper than bottled water.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it had to be like, bottle of water is usually about $1 at the supermarket or whatever. So they had to be cheaper than, a pint of beer had to be cheaper than a bottle of water, which is pretty cool for alcoholics.
Well, we weren't. That was the thing. We could have been making the most of those 80-cent beers, but unfortunately, I think a beer would have went down like a fart in a crowded elevator. We were just that crook. So it was pretty well just 3 days of recovering.
So you nearly just no point even going. Like if you could have went Tomorrowland and we're going back home, do you reckon it would have been?
Well, we had the Greek Islands coming up, so
you just kind of went, all right, we'll be.
We tried to
chill.
We tried to book the trip like that. At least give ourselves
a couple of
3 days here and there. So you can't go 6 weeks flat chat. You're just not. The human body's not built to do that. We definitely tested it out. But, So then we got to the Greek Islands after Prague, and Oh, mate, we and this is actually one of the stories that still gets told a lot. On the Greek islands, they don't necessarily have taxis.
Okay.
So we've booked this place called Merez Homes. Now, I know if the boys are listening, they'll get a good laugh out of that. 4Ks from city centre. We're like, perfect.
Yep.
We get out to this place. I don't even know how we got out. Oh, we got an airport. There must have been taxis from the airport or whatever, but they weren't around the island very much. We get out to this place, and it's like the fucking opening scene in Borat. It's just people wandering around raking dirt and like chickens and shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, very nice place, but just like completely out in the sticks. Like,
yeah.
And
it's only 4Ks away.
Yeah, but the islands are not that big, and there's no taxis. 4Ks is a long walk.
Yeah.
And there's a lady there, and she's just laughing at us, and we're like, where the fuck are we? We're like out in the middle of nowhere. We ended up missing because that was a Kentucky, so there would have been like 30 people on this Kentucky. We missed the first dinner. Ended up catching some random bus into town, and meeting up with the Kentucky crew that night. But we did an all-nighter, of course.
Yep.
And then had to get back to out to the sticks to get our gear, and we ended up booking a night in the town the following night, but then did another all-nighter and didn't sleep in the bed anyway. So, that was in Mykonos, I believe.
So you learn for your future travels to always be about 1 kilometre from the city?
Well, yeah, maybe if you're on the Greek islands, just because there's lack of transport. Like, I had to get some Greek bloke on a motorbike to drop me home that morning, and one of the other boys ended up paying some Albanian father to drop him home.
Yeah.
Because it was just, lack of transport.
Yeah, it sucks. So shit that you don't really like. I've never been one on the research because I'm a lazy sack, but if you don't do the research, you find out pretty quickly that there's some big do's and don'ts, and apparently staying 4 kilometres outside of the city there is a don't.
Yeah, if you're going to Mykonos, do not book accommodation at Merez Homes, because you will be in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Maybe it's better now.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
So you had a couple of big nights there, the Greek islands.
Well, that was in Mykonos. We did 4 islands. So we did Paros after that, then Santorini, and then finished at Eos, which is still probably my favourite destination on planet Earth, I would say.
Is Santorini really picturesque and beautiful?
It is, yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of ladies' dream wedding destinations.
Oh, I can definitely see why, yeah.
I think I've seen pictures of that and had a few people that have been there and have a few mates, partners who want to get married there. So that's pretty cool. So what was it, the 4 places?
So we went Mykonos, then Paros. Paros was a little bit more chilled, but again, it's Greek islands, things like the Croatia Yacht Week. It's just party every night. And in Paros, we had a karaoke night.
Okay.
Everyone gets up and singing your classic karaoke songs that everybody knows, and good old D-boy gets up and requests Bad Touch from the Bloodhound Gang, and then proceeds to turn his back to the words and just belted it out word for word.
Oh, really?
And crowd was in absolutely awe that anybody knows the full words to that song, but. Yeah.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah, that was great. And then Santorini was... I'm trying to remember. We actually went to an Aussie bar there and were drinking $14 VBs, which, I mean, I'm not a fan. I think VB tastes like cat piss, but yeah.
Yeah, VB, Vomit Bomb.
Yeah.
Is the acronym.
Yeah, but the other boys, they love it, so they were quite happy to pay $14 for it. And
strange, but good on them.
And then it was all finished up at Eos, which I still say I went back to Eos again in on my third Europe trip, but Eos was just...
We've got another podcast coming then.
Yeah, the third trip was on my own, so I was a little bit more mellow.
Okay.
But yeah...
So you can't do it. My mate did this.
No, because it was all me.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, Eos was great, mate. That's far out.
Why is it so great, though?
it's just a party island.
Yeah, beautiful.
Very nice island. Bars everywhere.
Nice weather, I assume.
A lot of Aussies go over there and work in the summer. You just pick up a job at a bar, and it's just like, beach by day, party by night.
Yeah.
Stay at Far Out Beach Club, which, she goes off like a bride's nighty there, mate. It's just DJ firing up at 7 in the morning. And
yeah. Jeez, 7 in the morning.
yeah, you left there a shell of a human. I remember ringing a mate from home and talking to him on the phone, and he's like, "Are you actually going to make it home? Because you sound like you are dead." No, and then mate, that was...
It's crazy. You did like a fucking Katiki tour without the tour. Like, you just did like party shit every...
We planned... So, the Sand for Men running the bulls was with the Kentucky.
Yeah.
The Greek Islands was with the Kentucky. There was one more part of that trip. Oh, Ibiza was with a Kentucky.
Yeah.
As well. So we sort of planned it half. So you're meeting people, but then you've also got your own time.
Still in touch with many of the people you met on your trips?
Yeah, a lot here in Perth. There's a group here in Perth I still see regularly from that.
Really?
From that year, yeah. Shout out to those legends.
Yeah.
There's I mean, a lot of the people I now have in my life are through my travels, like yourself, and.
Yep, you shouldn't, because I'm fucking sleeping on your couch these days, man. A homeless man. That's awesome. So you've got through London, which you didn't really do much. Pamplona, which you actually ran with the bulls this time, so you're pretty happy. Ibiza, just fucking party like there was no tomorrow. You got Paris, then you did France, Be Quiet, Tomorrowland, which was just bonkers. And then you go over to Amsterdam, hit up the space cake stall, and just catch a little some entertainment in the old sex shows.
Yeah.
Now you shoot to Prague, quiet times. You've just done the Greek islands. Where to now?
So the other boys went home from there, and I decided to meet another bloke in Thailand.
So was this on the cards, or you were like...
No, it was on the cards. Okay. Yeah, we'd booked it. So I shot across to Thailand with him. And again, there was something happened in... So going back to a
terrorist attack.
Yeah, something happened in Thailand when I got there the first night, and we were advised to not leave the hotel.
The king didn't die, did he?
No, it was something to do with the government. I think someone had let off
Marshall
a bomb in a Pringles can.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
And it killed...
Was that 2016?
Yeah, I was...
I was there. I can't remember. What month were you there?
August. It would have been August.
I was a month after I had left.
Okay,
I had mates there, and they were telling me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were advised not to leave the hotel the first night, and it was a little bit hairy. Like, I remember times through that trip being like, I do remember talking to my mate, like, maybe we should go home, because they were advising, maybe rethink your travel plans if you're coming here in case something else happens again. And but that ended up being a good trip. Just
where were you in Thailand? Sorry,
we're in Phuket.
Phuket, yeah.
What's that road called? Bangalore Road.
Bangalore Road, yeah.
Yeah, we stayed down there.
Yeah, you stayed on that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's like.
Yeah, so that was really the last thing I needed after 6 or 7 weeks in Europe was
new like super duper cheap as well. So it's like you went from the most expensive countries in the world to like, here is a fucking beer, a scorpion on a stick, and some pad thai. Like it was crazy how cheap that shit is over there.
Yeah,
it's awesome, without a doubt. Why there's so many Australians and Europeans over there, but a man can lose his soul in fucking Thailand. Yeah,
we were pretty well behaved. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, there's a few little stories there that probably can't be shared on the podcast.
I mean, they can, but it's more just don't incriminate yourself.
No,
if you don't want to. But by all means, if you want to tell me you stabbed someone, I don't care.
No, I wouldn't go that extreme.
Okay, just hit him over the head.
Rode an elephant.
Oh,
drank a couple of cocktails. Just what you do when you go on holidays.
Isn't elephant's not a euphemism for dating a fat girl?
No, never.
Fucked a fatty. Yeah, rode an elephant.
So I was there for 2 weeks, I suppose it was. And then
so you had.
I think it was 10 days, maybe. Sorry.
So you had 6 weeks in Europe, was it?
6 weeks in Europe.
And then you did a little 10-dayer.
Little 10-dayer in Thailand, yeah. And then from there, I went solo into Sydney. Spent a couple of days in Sydney. Did the Harbour Bridge climb with the great man Shannon Noel. He was on my...
Wait a minute, Shannon.
Yeah.
Robbed in 2007.
Shannon Noel was on the climb with me.
Were you talking about Guy Sebastian? Were you like, that fucking cunt? You won it, Noel.
Yeah,
You won it.
no, and he loved it because I was the only Aussie, so I knew he wasn't. You know how he's a bit of a fucking fig jam, like.
Yeah.
Because I knew him, he was like, oh, you know, like sweet, like no one else does, and he sort of loved that.
Was he in? So he was a nice dude.
Yeah, he was
He's
a nice.
bit of a lunatic.
No, he was a nice enough bloke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try and get him on the podcast. I'm sure he's fucking.
He'd be all over that, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I could just had your mate Toddy on.
He actually, the weekend of my going away before I flew to Canada, he got arrested at the strippers because he tried to skip the line, and they're like, "No, get to the back." He's like, "I'm Shannon Noel, mate."
What about me?
They're like, "We don't give a fuck who you are."
I want to see some titties shaped as a pear. What about me?
Oh, you're cooked, eh?
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. You met Shannon Noel.
Yeah,
Out of
big
all
nosy.
your trip, and then you come back to Australia and you meet Shannon Noel.
Big nosy, yeah.
So how was the actual trip on the ridge? What's that like? I've never met anyone who's ever done that, actually.
What, the Harbour Bridge climb?
Yeah.
Well, I had to go. That was the second time I done it because the first time I did it.
You chickened out the first time, did you?
No, I didn't chicken out the first time. The weather was shit house.
Yeah.
It pissed down the whole time, and they only cancel it if it's 100km/h winds for 15 minutes, I think.
Okay.
But it was like 90 k's. Like you couldn't see anything. Like it was like the rain was that heavy it hurt.
Oh really?
So I had I got to go back there and do it again.
Conquer it.
Yeah, so a couple of days in Sydney, and then I flew into Melbourne and timed it perfect for the Hawthorn-Collingwood round 23 2016 game, where Hawthorn got up by a point, absolute nail bite. I had to win it to finish third and get the double chance going for the four-peat.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure if you're not a Hawthorn supporter, you don't remember that, but...
Who was the man who won the game for him?
Big Jack Fitzpatrick.
Streaming out of the centre.
Yeah, kicking one from 50 to level the scores.
The Melbourne reject. Yeah. Fuck. Okay. So you do Melbourne for a little bit of Melbourne, was it?
Yeah, probably 3. Oh, it must have been 3 nights, I'd say now.
So you shoot to Melbourne. So obviously we met in Canada. Where does Canada fit in? I think that's going to be the next podcast. So this is just a good wrapping up this podcast. How does Canada lead from like you've just done this Europe trip? How do you get to Canada then?
Canada's about 5 months from now.
Okay.
So I've gone from Melbourne back to Adelaide and then started some fly-in, fly-out work up near Brisbane.
But when did you do your visa shit?
Oh, that got approved when I was in Prague.
So
I
you
remember
just,
that being...
you just randomly did it?
Yeah, I must have just... I actually can't recall the moment where I was like, I'm going to move to Canada, but...
Yeah.
I did have a mutual mate over there who I must have been talking to.
Yeah.
And he teed everything up for me, and I just got the visa approved, and yeah, it didn't really hit, I don't think, until I booked flights and...
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably 4 months from me getting back to Adelaide. So
Adelaide, you're doing fly-in, fly-out work?
Yeah, up near Brisbane.
So you're shooting around all over Australia, making a bit of coin before you fuck off, pretty much?
Pretty well, yeah.
So you're just working purely to leave again?
Yep.
And then, is there anything in between then? Did you?
Only on my week off, I went to Brisbane 1 week, and went to Perth another. And that weekend in Perth, yeah, that was a big year. That weekend in Perth was probably the weekend I thought that I would move here, but I was only about a month away from going to Canada.
Yeah.
Came over for a party, and I think, I remember thinking I'm going to live here when I get back, and then obviously going over to Canada and meeting everyone I got close to was from Perth, so it just made sense when I got back 2 years later. Yeah,
so you did. So you had a month. Well, I mean, you went to Perth. You had a month until you were going to Canada. It might not even been that long. It might have been. Yeah, no, it probably was. It was about a month. It was just before Christmas I was here. So you had a big 4 years. 2015, 16, 17, 18. It was pretty much non-stop. So you went from the first time outside of Australia in 2015. How many countries did you go to in the 4 years? I got to 25. Yeah.
by the end of 2019. I flew back into Australia from Kuala Lumpur on New Year's Day 2020.
Yeah.
I actually remember being at the airport there, and it had come on not on the news, because China announced they had a problem New Year's Eve 2019 about this virus.
Oh, okay.
I remember watching that at the airport. So, 25.
Like, it's nothing. It'll be like Ebola. It'll be fine.
Yeah, 25 countries in 5 years, and I thought I'll get to 30 by the time I turn 30, but fuck you, COVID.
Yeah,
you ruined that for me, and God knows how many other people. But
yeah, a couple have died. A couple got a bit worse than us. But, so, I think that's a good place to stop, to be honest, because we can stop Todd's Tales Part 2, Europe 2.0, and then we'll go into Canada, where I met you, and you working and traveling in Central America, which is pretty interesting tales. Geez, Central America might be its own podcast. So the next episode that we do, I think, is going to be your Canada trip, and probably, I assume you did a bit of America.
Yeah, we'll try and fit that into 40 minutes, won't we?
Yeah.
Try and fit 2 years into 40 minutes.
Yeah. That might be a part 1 and part 2 just for Canada. Thank you so much for coming back on.
Nah, you're a legend, mate. Thanks for having me.
Big shout out to everyone that's got back to me. I hadn't done any podcasts for about 4 months. I've had a fair few people reach out. You have actually had a few people reach out yourself.
Yeah, I'd just like give a shout out to a couple of legends. There's people in Vancouver listening, and one up in Broome, a few from Adelaide. Like, appreciate the messages, guys. It's always good to hear.
Excellent. Well, Todd's going to be on the podcast a bit because I am lazy and I can't be fucked talking to other people just yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 26 of Todd Tales Part 2. Thank you so much. See ya.